Ever since I made the first video in which I revealed that I did a master's program in France, many people have sent me messages to confirm. Is it really true? How did you do a master's in France without speaking French? Well, it is true. I did an MSc in France without speaking French. And to address the elephant in the room, it is possible to study in France without speaking French. So, here is the key to doing that. First of all, you need to find admission for a course that is taught in English. To do that, you need to do a Google search for English taught courses in France. One resource that you can also use that would be very useful for you is Campus France. Go on the Campus France website and search for English taught courses. There are English taught undergraduate courses and master's courses, although master's courses are much more common. You would find that most business schools in France are international in nature, and most of them offer courses that are fully taught in English. But besides business schools, which can be expensive, you would also find public universities, public research universities that have specific courses that are fully taught in English. So do your research. What do these schools look for? Usually they would be looking at your existing qualifications for a master's degree that would require your academic transcript. They would be looking at your motivation letter. That is very important. You want to be convincing. You want to show that you're genuinely interested in studying that course. They would also be looking at your CV. You want to show that you're somebody who's bringing value to the table. So your CV, probably a recommendation letter. And very importantly, they would be looking at your proof of English proficiency. So you might need some test results, maybe like the IELTS or something else. Or you might be able to convince them, especially if you're from a background like mine, a Nigerian background, where English is the official language. You might be able to convince them that you are already able to speak English. Oftentimes, it's that simple. In my sincere opinion, it is not more difficult to get admission in France than it is elsewhere. So you can study in France and live in France without speaking French. But is that advisable? Well, that's a different matter. I would say that it's still a good idea to take French classes and to start learning how to speak the language. Because you're going to France, you're going to the home of French. You're going to be meeting with many people who only speak French, and you will need to be able to communicate with them. So learning how to speak French is still a very good idea. If you also intend to work in the country, you should speak French. It would be very difficult to get a job without being able to speak that wonderful language. So I would say take a course, find maybe an Alliance Française close to you, or use Duolingo, or maybe just YouTube. Whatever you need to do, start getting familiar with the French language so that you can take full advantage of your stay in France. My name is Olumide Adeleye. Make sure you subscribe to this channel so that you can get more tips like that. Do have a wonderful day. See you in my next video.